Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an interesting episode for you guys, so you want to make sure you stick around for that one. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, this particular show that we're producing here actually came from an idea that Marco sent to me. Marco, as y'all know, is the co-founder of Dreamerspro. I didn't really have anything in mind. And he's like, no, why don't you kind of comb through the Stephen A. Smith, JJ Redick interview and see if you can find something. So shout out to Marco for coming up, for really pushing me to, do more research. Anyway, as y'all know, JJ Redick is one of the popular faces or popular voices on ESPN, especially on ESPN First Take. I think a lot of people enjoy his clashes with Stephen A. Smith, including me, especially in the beginning. And I think it was something a lot of people were longing for, especially after the way Stephen A. Smith dealt with Max Kellerman. Used to deal with him on TV, right? I said many times, even before that news came out that these guys were parting ways, I said a lot of it was just awkward. It was disrespectful. And I said, there's no reason for you to be talking to your co-host like this, to be talking down. This is a grown man with children, a family. Like, we can do our job, but you don't need to be disrespecting me, especially in a case where my kids could be watching. I'm like, this is madness, right? So I think a lot of people were pretty upset with Stephen A. Smith for that. So when they got an opportunity to see someone really go at him on TV, I think a lot of people loved it, right? A lot of people, including me, right? Including me. But we recently produced a show where we highlighted an awkward exchange between Stephen A. Smith, JJ Redick, and CJ McCollum, right? Surrounding Russell Westbrook attending the Lakers press conference when they were introducing the new head coach in Darvin Ham, right? And they had this major, they had a spat on TV, and I was like, okay, what is sports media turning? Is it turning into the WWE, right? And a lot of people are like, yes, that was a really, really messy exchange. And after watching that exchange, a lot of us walked away saying to ourselves, like, okay, so where's this thing going? But after watching a snippet from Stephen A. Smith, during his visit to the JJ Redick podcast, it became clear to me after listening to it that it may just be part of one big game, right? And maybe, just maybe, Stephen A. Smith is probably getting the last laugh at the end, at the end. So for those of you who missed the comments that Stephen A. Smith made in terms of, as it pertains to the relationship between him and JJ Redick and how ESPN First Take really works, take a listen to some of his comments here, and then we're going to come back and unpack it. So take a listen to what he had to say.
We all read Twitter comments after our segments. Yeah. We try to get feedback. It's an interesting way to get feedback. Right. And I remember early on, a first few hits I did on your show, there would be a comment like, Stephen A. is not going to let JJ back on the show. Was I ever in danger of not being invited back?
That was never true. It's amazing what people don't get about First Take. It's a 2-hour debate show. And obviously I'm the face of the franchise now. And they come to me, and the bosses come to me, and they put a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. And so for me, all I care about is that you're honest and true and authentic with your perspectives. Obviously being respectful of everybody that's on it. That's all I care about. And to me, what folks don't realize, I want people to disagree with me. People keep forgetting I've been a journalist for 28 years. I've been covering the NBA for a quarter century. I'm an antagonist, and it's by nature. It's not like I'm not doing it for ratings. I've always been this way. When I go and I talk to a player, or I talk to a team, I talk to a coach, I talk to a general manager, an owner, a president of basketball operations, I'm literally looking at them. Okay, what's your definition of success? Tell me what your expectations are, whether it's about the team, it's an individual. Tell me why, whatever. And then I'm in your face all year long reminding you of what you said, because that's the standard that I'm holding you. I'm not looking at you and I'm jumping to this conclusion. I'm letting you tell the story. And I think that I have a very unique approach compared to most journalist. I played basketball, certainly not on these guys' level, but I played for Clarence Big House Games, who was a legend. His mentor was John McClendon, who helped integrate the sport of basketball. These are the guys that tutored me. And then my first job in the business, I was covering John Chaney. And then after that, I covered Larry Brown. So I've been surrounded by the game, or involved with the game of basketball, pretty much my entire life. And they taught me how to look at the game from the standpoint of understanding what you don't know. I don't go to a player challenging their knowledge. I go to players challenging their willingness to be honest about their knowledge. I don't go to a J.J. Redick thinking for 1 second I know more than him. What I'll say is, I'm a reporter, and I happen to know this, and there's more to what you're telling me, so give it to me. That's entirely different, which is why you'll see J.J. Redick smiling and laughing and all of this other stuff. Whereas if you got on with another pundit, you might be a bit offended because they're trying to act like they know what you know. And I never do that.
Now, the first part about that clip that really made me chuckle is when he said, you were in a respectful way, considering how he used to talk to Max Kellerman. I thought that part was rich. Like, this guy's talking about being respectful when he was like, basically, just bullying Max on TV every day. So I thought that was pretty funny. But if you paid attention to what he had to say, Stephen A. Smith made it crystal clear. He said it is a debate show, right? He said it is a debate show, and what they do, or their goal, is to drive views and ratings. And he said, as the face of the network, he says he helps the company do that because they put a lot of, responsibility on him. He said he got viewed, I believe it was in the last 12 months, 1.5 billion times. Now, I'm sure it's not the views of ESPN First Take. I don't think ESPN First Take generated 1.5 billion views. I think he's talking about the aggregate views. Maybe he's talking about YouTube, but maybe all of the views on YouTube. I don't think ESPN First Take generated that many views. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But that's what he said. And as the face of the network, Stephen A. Smith helps ESPN generate hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions. In the first quarter of 2022, ESPN generated, think about this, $5.16 billion. That was in Q1, $5.16 billion dollars. And I think, and the exchanges that we see on TV with Stephen A. Smith and whoever it is, Kendrick Perkins, J.J. Redick, C.J. McCollum, Mad Dog, whoever it is, I think all of that goes towards that end. I think all of that helps ESPN generate all that money. And I think Stephen A. Smith understands very clearly the formula that helps that network generate hundreds of millions of dollars a year. I think he understands that clearly. And if you listen to some of his interviews that he did after the Max Kellerman fallout, he said, I know my worth to the network. I know my worth, right? And I think the alleged contract that he has right now is that they're paying him, what is it, $12 million a year, $1 million a month. I'm pretty sure the overhead, the monthly overhead for just ESPN First Take alone, I think has to be somewhere around $5 to $7 million a month. That I could be wrong, but if Stephen A. Smith is earning $1 million, then you have other talent like Molly, then you have all of the other people that come on the show, Jay Williams, Mad Dog. Well, they're not coming on there for free. You have all of these guys have, so I'm sure the monthly overhead, these guys, if they're willing to pay that much money, let's just say $5 million, but that's $60 million a year. That's $60 million. If it's $2.5 million a month, that's $30 million a year. So if they're paying $30 million a year, right, to their, that's their overhead a year, what do you think they're making? And the margin is going to be really, really, really high. And I think Stephen A. Smith understands all of this. It is becoming clear to me that Stephen A. Smith is a businessman first. That's what I'm really starting to understand. I think he's a businessman that is in the entertainment business. I don't really think it's sports. I don't think it's as much sports. I think it's more entertainment. I think it's entertainment than sports. That's what I'm really starting to understand about him. And if you listen to him, it sounds as if Stephen A. Smith goes home every day and he's laughing. I think Stephen A. Smith at the end of the month is just laughing all the way to the bank. I think he gets a chuckle out of people feeling like, oh, they got Stephen A. Smith, you got roasted on TV, so-and-so got you, ha, 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 ha. I don't think this dude cares about any of that. I think he looks at his bank balance every month, monthly statement, and he's laughing, and I think he has mastered the art of not giving a damn. When he says, I really, really don't care about what people think, I think he really, really, really doesn't care. Apart from the exchanges that they have on TV, I don't really think he cares. Not in the sense that he's apathetic. I just think that he doesn't allow it to bother him to that extent. You may see various blow-ups on TV, but I just don't think he really cares at the end. I think Stephen A. Smith understands that he's a money man, he's a businessman, and I think it's one big game, entertainment. I think it is entertainment, and it's becoming apparently clear. I thought it was awkward, the exchange that they had, CJ McCollum, JJ Redick, and Stephen A. Smith. But apparently, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's just all entertainment and it's all fun and games. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about the comments he made? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.